This is the last corner of the earth. The buck stopped long before it got to my talk show, because quite frankly, the buck could not find my remote, secluded, distant, hidden, undisclosed location we like to call Talk Radio King Studios, online at talkradioking.com. It's your politically conservative host and your socially conducting himself in a disorderly manner, blowhard Mike C. Schultz, aka the Talk Radio King. It's a beautiful, sunny November 18th day, 2016. It's a special edition Friday show. Part 2 of my expose and unwarranted opinions about the secret society of Alcoholics Anonymous. It's funny, I'm a partner with YouTube and I make money off my YouTube uploads. I was going to check on the status of the last AA video, part 1 to this segment, and one of those video ads came up before the video, so I get paid. And to my surprise, it was for Trintellix, some new antidepressant medication. I thought it was fitting, based on the subject matter of AA and the uncanny relationship they have with Big Pharma and the addiction treatment industry. All big money. They keep their victims busy by sending them to free AA meetings. How nice is it when you have a business model where the solution is something free like AA and you just send them off over there to keep your overhead low so that you can pocket all the fucking money. And I just wanted to say I'll be opening up the C. Schultz Institute for Drug and Alcohol Free Life. It's going to be a world-renowned facility. I will disclose my financials after a year of billing the insurance companies, as well as taking private self-pay from the rich, gullible folks out there paying $70,000 to send their little babies off to rehab. I can make a fortune, but I'm probably not going to do that. Then I have to deal with HIPAA laws. Too much red tape for a guy like me. But I'm relaxing in the studio, having some scotch and listening to New Orleans jazz. And I mean loud, too. I'm blasting it. But looks like I'll be toning down on the language and ranting. Just a tad, now that we've got Donald J. Trump in there, a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a country who finally grew the balls to take the country back. Never mind the little kids protesting in the streets. Many of them have been brainwashed against their wills by the schools in which they attend. I mean, try asking them a question. I mean, a super simple question that, frankly, I think is a prerequisite, that they should have to know the answer to that question before they can make an ass of themselves. Most of them, you show them a picture of Joe Biden, they can't tell you he's the vice president of the United States. Yeah. They're out there burning, tearing apart American flags, and they crowd the streets so that the shop owners that they are blocking customers from entering their storefronts are losing money, hand over fist. Way to go, you heathens, nice work. These liberal idiots are running out of gas. They aren't that motivated to spend money for their cause. That's why you didn't see Hillary signs anywhere. They're all on welfare or aren't willing to spend $15 to $20 for an I'm with her Hillary Clinton sign. Me and all the Trump supporters proudly spent $20 on our yard signs. I'd have paid $50 or $100 if you want to know the truth. But I'm getting way off topic, or am I? This is a conservative talk radio show, so one should expect me to get on the subject of how liberals are continuing to destroy our country. But I have some relief now. We're going to make America great again, and I'm going to take the rest of the show to talk about AA and the secret cult society, part 2 of our segment, because Trump is about to perform what my buddies in the investment banking industry like to call a hostile takeover. Hold on to your pussies and your tight pants, all you liberals tuning out of my show, because the Talk Radio King will be right back after this message.
timpani, please.
Converting tin cans into solid gold. Your current website marketing efforts aren't bringing you a single customer? Don't get your panties in a wad. I'm Mike Seaschultz, and I'm the gnarliest son of a bitch you've ever met when it comes to building and marketing your brand. I build you a badass website, put it on top of Google, create a voiceover radio ad just like the one you're listening to right now, and best of all, make your phone ring.
Oh, yeah.
Call me today at 386-265-8190. Again, that's 386-265-8190. 386-265-8190. Or visit me online at daringforce.com. That's D-A-R-I-N-G force.com. Daringforce.com. You know what time it is. I'm your host, Mike Seaschultz. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time. Right here with the Talk Radio King. 1988.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Making a right turn on the road, becoming a conservative against every last-ditch brainwashing and guilt-tripping effort that the liberals had to convert him. Mike Seaschultz dodged a bullet and escaped the sheeple's cult to arise to the occasion and assume the position as America's talk radio king. Misogynistic, controversial, vulgar, obscene, and heartfelt. I'm Mike Seaschultz, the talk radio king. My program is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. Look, lady, we're not kids playing with walkie-talkies. If you don't have a legitimate topic, don't call my radio show. Goodbye. Coffee's for closers. Don't ever call my show and waste my time or the audience's time. Alright, so we're back. Talking about AA, the secret society, the cult that I've had the pleasure of departing from. Now, you know, some people get a lot of help from AA. You know, it's hard to, you know, put down someone who has 20, 30 years of sobriety, 10, 15 years, whatever the case might be. You'll excuse me, I'm in my mini fridge here. Just making me a Friday cocktail. Now, the problem is the main problem I have is the sponsors and the anonymity that they pride themselves on so much. It's not really anonymous, and when you confide in someone that you give them all these secrets. All these secrets they want you to disclose on this piece of paper called the fourth step. Okay? The fourth step. So you put down all these deep, dark secrets and all this stuff, and you tell. And then I see these sponsors. I'm not going to name any names. I've seen them in Daytona Beach. Guys with 20 plus years, by the way. Probably give me a phone call in the next 2 days too, just to see how I'm doing. Pretending like they didn't. They have a guilty conscience. I'm not naming any names. I've been around them. Someone's going to go, you know, and they're going to listen to the show. And then 2 days later, they're going to give me a call up on the phone. Hey, Mike, just seeing how you're doing. Just wanted to call and check up on you. See, was it? Oh, yeah, you heard any of my shows? What shows? Oh, well, you know, I'm doing this radio show thing now. Oh, really? Get out of here. Oh, how's that going? You know. So these sponsors, they you know, pride themselves on this 20 plus years of sobriety, and they hear all the secrets of their so-called sponsee, and then I'll be there and I'll be over hearing a phone call, and they'll be disclosing some of this information to others in secrecy. And you know, who would you rather trust in this respected thing called AA than someone with over 20 years of sobriety, so-called, with some things that you really believe are things that you are going to take to the grave with you, And now you're telling them to somebody else something you swore you'd never do. And it's all under the guise that that person can be trusted and you have nothing to worry about. You're going to become free. You're going to get free once you do this step. Now, obviously, not all sponsors disclosing. But I'll tell you what, a lot more do than don't that I've seen. I mean, I was around a while. I got to see things. People talk. And while, you know, and then they'll do it in a roundabout way, like, can you read between the lines? And everybody knows here. You're giving me a hint. I've got a big brain. Yeah, I put it together. Yeah, I can read between the lines. Way to go. Way to go. Disclosing information somebody gave you in confidence. Yeah, you should be real proud of yourself. Real proud of yourself. I'm so sick of this. Let's play some music. Do we got that? I've been listening to jazz today. We got that.
I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you? Some, they may go for cocaine. I'm sure that if I took even one sniff, it would bore me terrifically too. Yet I get a kick out of you. I get a kick every time I see you standing there before
All right.
me.
That's fine. That's fine. Turn the music off. We're talking about AA. I'm getting sick of talking about it. We're going to have to do a part 3. But the guru is always right. The guru, his organization, and his teachings are all considered above criticism and beyond reproach. One just does not criticize the founders, Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob, or their wonderful program. Bill Wilson's, quote, big book, really titled Alcoholics Anonymous, is cited as the ultimate answer for everything, a new Bible for contemporary alcoholics. If Bill said something, then it is automatically true in the eyes of the AA faithful. Bill Wilson never made a mistake after he started AA and never gave bad advice to any AA member. Bill Wilson was a paragon of sanity, clarity, wisdom, and honesty. Many of the true believers in Alcoholics Anonymous actually believe that Bill Wilson's writings were inspired by God, just like the Bible. They say that Wilson wrote the 12 steps while receiving guidance from God. The faithful reverently pore over books like the Big Book, 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, and As Bill Sees It, as if they were holy scriptures, rather than the ravings of a lunatic. Bill's writings in the Big Book, okay, after he was done raving, and then he continued raving and being a lunatic, the first 164 pages, okay, are considered to be so sacred that they cannot ever be updated, fixed, or changed. The 4th edition of the Big Book was just released, and the first 164 pages are still unchanged. Not a single lie or error was corrected. The faithful stubbornly ignore the fact that the Big Book and Bill Wilson's other writings demonstrate all too clearly that he was suffering from delusions of grandeur, specifically delusional paranoid disorder, grandiose type mental disorder number 297.110 or 297.10, as described in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders of the American Psychiatric Association, also known as the DSM, by the way, on pages 200 to 203 in the 3rd edition of the DSM. And also on pages 297 to 301 in the 4th edition. Bill Wilson was also a textbook case of narcissistic personality disorder, mental disorder number 301.A1. Again, as described in the DSM, version 5, on pages 658 to 661. I've done my research. The faithful also pointedly ignore the overwhelming evidence that Bill Wilson was selfish, manipulative, superstitious, egotistical, arrogant, vicious, financially dishonest, a philandering sexual predator, a liar, a con artist, and insane. The faithful even ignore the fact that Bill Wilson took sexual advantage of sick women who came to AA, seeking help to avoid death from alcohol. While women were still shaky, cloudy-headed, and confused from alcohol poisoning and alcohol withdrawal, Bill Wilson was scheming to get into their pants. That is an especially heartless kind of exploitation of vulnerable people. Now, the Talk Radio King isn't quite done yet. Likewise, the true believers ignore the evidence that Dr. Robert Smith, the other co-founder of AA, had serious mental problems of his own. The faithful proclaim Dr. Bob was a wise saint, in spite of the facts that Dr. Bob seems to have been a power-tripping, neurotic, dogmatic, religious fanatic who got his kicks by having people surrendered to God on their knees before him. He was so narrow-minded that he wrote in the big book that he feels sorry for you if you won't accept religious proclamations of the Bill and Bob team. Now, that's going to be all for me on this November 18th, 2016 edition of the AA Cult, Part 2, Secret Society. We're going to go further into Dr. Bob's story on the Part 3 segment when that comes out. And we will be doing some weekend shows this weekend, so stay tuned for that. Who knows what the topics will be? I haven't even come up with it yet. But I know I'm not talking about AA over the weekend, that's for sure. It's a waste of my time. Waste of my time. Maybe not. Maybe I'm helping some people out there who are like stuck in this cult, but I get so sick of talking about these people. Let not your heart be troubled. This is the Talk Radio King. Happy Friday.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air. Oh, no sense in staying inside. If the weather's fine and you got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Each bird keeps singing his own song.
You've been listening to a special Friday edition of Talk Radio King. Visit us online at talkradioking.com.